So 1 year turned really, at the end of my journey, it turned into 12 years of waiting. Every day, my friend, every day, I had to say, God, I need to give this to you. Time is a liar. We serve a God that is out of time. And one of the meanings, if you dig deep, of Rosh Hashanah is he remembers the same way that he remembered Sarah.
Hello, welcome to the show again. This is Maria Cristina Valencia, and I am the host of Tu Aroma de Mujer, or in English, You're Scent as a Woman. Today, I have a woman, she's amazing, she's spectacular. She was actually our Master of Ceremonies in our recent gala that we had with Heartbeat of Miami. And when you see it, you would not have an idea what she had to go through for years. And today we're gonna be speaking about a topic that I think women should talk more about, because it's millions and millions of women going through this alone, in the shadows, in the darkness, going through so much frustration, suffering, anxiety, and seeing no hope when there is a hope. Today we're going to talk about infertility. So help me welcome to the show, Julissa Yanes. I am so excited that you're here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What an honor and what a privilege it is to be with such a catalytic leader like you. Really, truly. I'm so happy to be here and so happy to be talking about this topic.
Absolutely. So, Julissa, take us back to that moment. You're newlywed and you're extremely happy to start your family. And what happens there? How was the news?
Oh my goodness. Well, I know that my husband and I, we met at our church. So, we had our values during our time as boyfriend and girlfriend. We were just, so celebrated in our community, right? Getting married, and it was amazing. It was wonderful. And I remember about a year into our marriage, we said, hey, let's wait at least 2 years.
Let's plan it.
Let's plan it. What could go wrong, right? What could go wrong?
Right.
Well, I remember, just wanting to start that journey and didn't think anything of it, because my doctor before I got married told me everything was fine. Right? So when they tell you everything is fine, everything is fine. Right?
It should not be any issues.
It should not be any issues. Well, lo and behold, 1 year went into 2 years, and I just felt a sense of weariness, because I said, okay, wait a minute, this feels like a little bit longer.
Right, what's going on?
What's happening? What's going on? And I remember having, certain special conferences at our church, and it was like, somebody gave me a word, and you're going to be a mother, and there's going to be this many children, and your first child's going to be this, and all these words. And I just felt the shame of, oh my gosh, this is not happening. And I remember the expectation, and people, when are we going to see a little one? Exactly. Or you're not doing enough, right? Because you need and what's happening? And who's the one with the problem?
It's so good that you mentioned that, because immediately people start pointing.
Yes.
Pointing. Is it you? Is it your husband? And it's such an intimate situation.
Yes. And truly, it's a burden that women feel. Yes. And unfortunately, they don't talk, or it's not really spoken, that also men can have issues with fertility as well. So in our case, both of us came to the table with issues that we didn't know, because
that was supposed to be okay.
Exactly. Everything was supposed to be fine. So 1 year turned, really, at the end of my journey, it turned into 12 years of waiting.
12 years of waiting.
Yeah.
And this is the first thing that we need to, I think, address. Because, we say it like nothing. 12 years is a very long time. When you're looking and searching and wanting with all your heart to be able to have a family, to be able to be what you're designed to be, right? Just to bear children. And the first miracle that I believe that you had there, and we spoke about this before the show, is in the waiting, your marriage stood that test, which is one of the things that I want you to talk about to the audience, because how difficult it is that in your emotional and spiritual and physical aspect of who you are as a woman, you feel that you're not performing.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did that go for you?
Oh my gosh. Well, first off, I think that within the context of waiting, it's not just with infertility. You could be waiting for a child to come back to the feet of Jesus. You could be waiting for a marriage, a husband, or whatever that may look like. But for me, the challenge was really keeping my heart in a pure place and not becoming hardened by the waiting and by the lack of not seeing a response. And even by seeing friends that didn't even really like, they would say,
to be, start a family.
Oh, I didn't even want to be, we didn't even try. And I'm just like, and I'll be honest,
yes,
I am in ministry,
yes,
a pastor, the whole thing, and you know what? I felt angry.
Yes.
I felt pain. I felt like God forgot me. Yes. I was like, God, I'm doing all the Christian things. I'm doing the whole spiel, right, all the gymnastics here, right? Yes. And it's like, what's not happening? And he led me to some verses in Isaiah 54, where sometimes God asks us to do things that can feel offensive. Meaning, the woman in Isaiah 54, he says, "Sing, O barren woman, the one that has never conceived. Mm-hmm. Your children will outnumber the woman that gives birth year after year." And he's like, stretch your tent. So he's saying this to somebody that's never had a kid. It's like, build the baby room, build the nursery. You that's never had a kid, it'll come. I almost felt like, God, I'm offended by this.
Insulted.
Like, I'm insulted. Like, why are you telling me this? And I felt there he challenged me. Like,
more and more.
You have to trust in me. Wow. You have to trust in me. Are you waiting on the promise to love me and trust me? Or are you just trusting me before that comes?
The one who gives the promise. Oof. I think that is so crucial that you say that. Because, we're waiting something on the promise, on the gift, right, on what I'm praying for. Right. And then we forget who gives that promise.
Yes.
And it's complete surrender to him.
Totally. Every day, my friend, every day I had to say, God, I need to give this to you. Yes. I need to give this to you. I need to give, my intimate life with my husband to you. I need to give my desire to be a mom. I need to give time to you. Because as women, we put pressure on ourselves. Our biological clock is ticking. Oh my goodness. And let me tell you, my husband, he was a saint in all of this. Wow. Because sometimes, I was on fertility medication. I was, all your hormones all jacked up, right? Yeah, everything was everywhere. But I have to say that we had to together make a decision and say, we are going to love God and we're going to stay married, whether God does this or not.
That is so beautiful. Because at the end of the day, when you get married, it's the power of one.
That's right.
You two become one.
That's right.
So this is not your thing or his thing. It's like what you have decided to honor God first and foremost. Yeah. And I think that's when this fully surrender is.
Yes.
When you're saying it does not matter if you give me a daughter or a son or if I ever see children or not, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I still love you.
That's right.
I still serve you.
That's right.
And I'm here as a couple, united to having to deal with at what that stage of your life was what God wanted you to teach you.
That's right.
And extending your tent, as you said.
Yeah, because for better or for worse.
Right, because at the end of the day, saying, okay, 6 months of infertility, okay, and I got pregnant. But 12 years?
Come on,
12 years is a long time. And you're like, as you said, your biological clock. You're not in your 20s. You're not in your, like extending your 30s. No. And it's not happening.
That's right. And that's a core value of ours, of my husband and mine. Time is a liar. We serve a God that is out of time. Wow. So I can't dictate myself by a biological clock that was designed in like the 50s and 60s by scientists that, they're not the final law.
Right.
So I had my first child, fast forward, I had my first child at 38 and my second child at 40, and I'm 42 now. And I say that proudly. Amazing. Why? Because I had two extremely healthy, I say really advanced because they I'm like, what are these kids, it's so.
Two daughters.
Yes, exactly. And it's going back to Isaiah 54. It's like the promises that we have to wait for. Yes. When they do come, they're released with like this interest from heaven. It's like God blessing. Is like, yes, it's like, he's like, okay, you wanted this. That's fine. I'm going to give you this, but I'm also going to do this, and this.
Exceeds your expectation.
He exceeds it totally. Beautiful. So I always say this when I share this story. The waiting was rough, but he is in the waiting, and the waiting is never wasted. Yes. It's never wasted because it bubbled up things in my life, in my heart that I had to heal.
Yes.
So the gift that I could bring my daughters now is a mom that was able to deal with trauma, that was able to deal with scars, that was able to find some safety and security and stability in the marriage before the kids came.
The transformation that it happened to you.
Absolutely.
In the waiting.
Absolutely. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. Do I struggle? Still? Absolutely. Do I have days where I'm like, yes. But I can tell you the deep work that was done before.
Yes.
And all that was the waiting. So now I thank God for those 12 years of waiting.
Amazing. What an amazing, amazing way of looking at it. Yeah. Because now it's easy, right? When you get out of it, then you're saying, oh, wow, now I know why.
Right.
Because God always knows.
Right.
Sometimes we forget.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget that God knows what is ahead.
Yeah.
He knows what he has for you. And he's just telling you, wait.
That's right.
Wait, I know the promises that I have for you.
That's right.
And the promises are for a great future and a hope.
That's right.
And you just need to go through this process
Yes.
to be the person that I need you to be.
That's right.
In order for you to receive the promise.
Yes, yes. And if there's anyone listening to this,
Yes.
going through
Yes.
infertility right now, or you're in a season of waiting, whatever that season may look like, I just want to tell you that the day I found out that I was pregnant with my first daughter, I never forget it. I was 1 week late, but again, I said, I'm not gonna do a test, because what if it's a false alarm, right? Because then we have that.
Yes.
But something inside me said, no, I need to do this. I need to do this because I just need to get this out of my head. If it isn't, then I'll just cry and, we'll just move on. I won't say anything to anybody, right?
Right.
So I went to CVS and I got a little test. I went to I drank water and I did all the things to make sure that if it's positive, it's really positive. And I never forget seeing that test just turned royal blue, that cross and that plus sign. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. This is really happening. And I just remember thinking, God, I was just laughing of joy. Just joy came over me. And I remember that was a Saturday and it was Rosh Hashanah. And when you look, it's a Jewish high holy holiday. Yes. And one of the meanings, if you dig deep, of Rosh Hashanah is he remembers the same way that he remembered Sarah in her waiting. Yes. So if anybody's in a waiting season, he remembers. He remembers you. He sees you in that season. He hasn't forgotten you. He has a date and appointed time, but don't waste that season. Yes. Take advantage. Seek out healing. Seek out community. Seek out friends. And celebrate others that get the promise before you.
Amen to that. And also, to finish this conversation, which has been so valuable, and now you can tell why I'm telling you that she was so wonderful as our MC. In your case, after the period of waiting, you received your blessing. Yes. You received what you were asking for, right? But we also know that God is a sovereign God.
That's right.
And sometimes he's going to say, you know what? I know that you're asking, but this is not the promise that I have for you. And that's also a very difficult scenario because we know people that have been through that process much longer than you and that are not seeing the promise.
That's right.
And they might never see that promise.
That's right.
Which is not to have children as in a biological way, right? What would you say to that woman?
Well, let me tell you, it's so funny that you mentioned that because in my journey, I had a beautiful mentor of mine and she was challenging me within this waiting season.
Yes.
And she told me the following. She said, isn't the miracle the child? Why are you trying to control the process? Oh my gosh. And I realized, you know what? I'm not only trying to tell God what I want, but I'm also trying to tell him how to give it to me too. And when and how. So I had to release the fact that it was going to be, if it was going to be biological, if it was going to be through adoption or what. I would just say to that person, whatever your waiting journey is, release it to the Lord. Surrender it. Surrender it to him. Because at the end of the day, he knows best. His ways are higher than our ways. I would have loved to have my kids in my 20s. Absolutely. My mom had me in her 20s. We're best friends. Yes. But you know what? I'm an older mom, but that also is part of God's design in my life. And if he brought me to that, at this age, he's going to give me the grace to fulfill it. Right. So I would just say, number one, surrender. And number two, he's going to give you grace. Well, however that promise looks like, and even if it doesn't come, and the way that you want it, he's still good.
Amen.
And he's still God. And we have to remember and anchor ourselves in that truth.
And still have that gift that you have always desired. Because we have here a beautiful, beautiful conversation with my sister. She is adopted. Oh, wow. And we talked about the adoption. Yeah. And also, sometimes God whispers in your ear. Yeah. The way that I want you to be a mom is to go to give a home for those babies that don't have a home. Yeah. motherhood is not only biologically, motherhood is spiritually.
Totally.
How many spiritual daughters we have that make you a mom, and it's giving you that grace, as you said, to go and say, I'm going to give a home to a child that doesn't have one. And that promise might look to you that way as well.
That's right.
And where are you now after all this beautiful story?
Oh my
What
gosh.
do you think your legacy is going to be? What do you want to leave? When our Lord calls us? What is it that you want to be left behind as Julissa Yanes now?
That question triggers me because I was raised by a beautiful parents in ministry. My dad had many giftings, and he had a lot of mental health issues, to the point where with his first wife, psychiatrists said that they needed to abort their first child because he was not mentally capable of raising that child. And I'm telling you this for the reason that I am standing here today because God decided for my life to count. So when I pass and my daughters are left behind, I want them to say their mom knew Jesus and they knew Jesus because of their mom. I want them to have an intimate relationship with him, and whoever encounters my children and my spiritual children, they can have an encounter with the living God.
Yes, that's beautiful. I don't think that there's a better way to live. We're here for a purpose. As we say in this podcast, the reason why we have this podcast is to have the power of your story, which only gets lived with the power of your voice.
That's right.
That talks to the other women, which is the power of your own scent. And your own scent is the legacy that you're leaving behind. And in our cases, this legacy of transforming lives and touching lives is always with one intention, which is pointing the person who's going through much suffering and pain and waiting to the one who created us, to the one that is designing our lives with our unique purpose, and to bringing you closer to him. When you go through a season of waiting or suffering, it's not the time to run away from him. It's the time to come closest to him. And if you don't know him, he's always knocking at your door. Always telling you, I am here for you. I am here to let you know why I made you. I am your creator.
So good.
And I have so many plans for you. And so many women in the suffering, because I'm included.
Absolutely.
When I went through my darkest moments of life, I said, you know what, God, you don't exist. Because if you're not giving me, or you're not helping me, or you're not saving, if you don't save my mom from cancer, and if you don't give me kids, and if you don't do this for me, then you don't exist.
That's right.
Why should I be here? Why should I trust in you? Why should I believe in you? And instead of coming closer to him, we walk away from him. And then we're exposed to more suffering, more pain, and not surrendering.
That's right.
Which I think is very crucial what you're saying now. The importance of a mother knowing who she is, knowing where you base your identity. And there's many women that are lost. So let's try to finish this podcast with that thought in mind of these women who, for whatever reason, have lost their identity. What would you say to those who are not finding themselves, not knowing what they're here for, and are far away from home?
Wow. Well, I would just say to those women, there's always a place at the table for you.
Yes, it's beautiful.
There's always a place at the table for you. And in the table of God, you see, he covers a multitude of sins. So however far back you are, however lost you feel like you are, there's always a space for you. There's always a place for you. You are not rejected. You are seen. I want to let you know you are enough, because he has a new wardrobe for you. He has a crown for you. He wants to dress you in that royal wardrobe because you are his royalty. You are his daughter. So I just want to say, whatever things that you are believing that are holding you back, you know what? Chuck them. They're not true. The truth is that you are loved, you are never forsaken, and you are not abandoned. He loves you, and he wants an intimate relationship with you, because his love is not that love that it's you have to do something because I'm going to love you back. No.
It's not conditional.
Not conditional. Thank you. Not conditional. It's all based on him, and he is love.
Thank you so much. Wow, this has been so powerful, so powerful. Thank you so much in these precious minutes that we've been able to have with Julissa, sharing her story of infertility, 12 years of waiting, and look at her now. There's always hope. There's always hope for you, and we're here. So please share this episode, share this conversation with someone that you know that might be going through these circumstances or any circumstance in a waiting period. Like it, subscribe to this channel, follow us on social media. And if you too have a great story that you know that you're going to be able to inspire another woman, let us know. We would love to have you in this show, in this podcast. I cannot wait to see you in our next episode of Tu Aroma de Mujer. See you soon.